Delayed adulthood. Why Gen Z is hitting life milestones later. Soft tone, delayed adulthood describes the cultural trend of young adults reaching traditional milestones like marriage, home ownership, and parenthood later than previous generations due to economic pressure, shifting values, and evolving identity norms. There was a time when life followed a script. Graduated at 22, stable job by 24, married by 26, first house by 30, kids soon after. That timeline feels almost fictional now, and yet many of us still measure ourselves against it. Soft tone. I remember being 25 and realizing my parents had already owned a home at my age. They had a clear 5-year plan. I had 3 browser tabs open, comparing rent prices and student loan calculators. It felt like I was behind. But behind what exactly? The data behind the shift. Gen Z is statistically delaying major life milestones compared to previous generations. Marriage. The average age of first marriage has steadily increased over the past few decades. Many Gen Z adults view marriage as optional rather than inevitable. Home ownership. Skyrocketing housing prices and stagnant wages have made home buying significantly less accessible. Renting longer is often a necessity, not a preference. Parenthood. Parenthood is being approached more cautiously. Financial stability, climate concerns, and personal readiness are bigger considerations than ever before. This is not a random delay, it is structural. The economic reality. Adulthood used to correlate with financial independence, but financial independence now looks different. Student debt and cost of living. Many Gen Z adults entered adulthood with higher student debt, increased rent costs, healthcare instability, competitive job markets. Even full-time employment does not guarantee upward mobility the way it once did. When stability feels fragile, long-term commitments feel riskier. Career instability changed the timeline. Our generation entered a workforce shaped by gig economy expansion, remote work shifts, startup volatility, frequent layoffs. Long-term job loyalty feels less secure. Instead of building one 30-year career, many of us are building skill portfolios. That flexibility is empowering. It is also destabilizing. Identity before institution. Previous generations often formed identity through institutions, marriage, career, parenthood. Gen Z prioritizes identity first. We ask, who am I? What do I value? Where do I want to live? Before asking, who should I marry? What job title defines me? This internal focus slows external milestones, but it deepens self-awareness. The rise of self-discovery culture. Therapy is normalized. Personal growth content is everywhere. Emotional literacy is encouraged. Many Gen Z adults are actively unpacking generational trauma before committing to lifelong partnerships. That takes time. Delaying marriage is sometimes less about avoidance and more about intention. Social media comparison is complicated. Here is the paradox. Even as we reject traditional timelines, we still compare. Engagement posts, house keys, selfies, baby announcements. Scrolling can trigger quite a panic. Am I late? Am I missing something? But what we rarely see are the behind-the-scenes realities. Debt, stress, relationship strain, highlight reels distort timelines. The redefinition of adulthood. Maybe adulthood is not about hitting milestones. Maybe it is about responsibility and autonomy. Emotional maturity, setting boundaries, communicating needs, managing finances, taking accountability. Those markers matter more than wedding dates. Lifestyle flexibility. Many Gen Z adults value mobility over permanence, living in different cities, traveling, trying multiple careers. Adulthood is becoming less linear and more exploratory. The fear of falling behind. I have felt it. Friends are announcing engagements while I am still figuring out my career direction. Moments of quiet doubt. But when I zoom out, I see something bigger. Our generation is not stalling. We are recalibrating. We watched financial crashes. We watched layoffs. We watched burnout. We are cautious for a reason. Climate anxiety and future planning. This is another layer. Climate uncertainty influences long-term planning decisions. Parenthood feels heavier when environmental instability is part of the equation. Long-term mortgages feel risky when geographic mobility might be necessary. These are not dramatic thoughts. They are practical considerations. The freedom in redefining the script. There is power in realizing timelines are social constructs. You can get married at 22 or 42, buy property or rent long-term, have children or not, change careers at 35. None of those paths invalidates adulthood. Maturity is not a race. The cultural impact. As Gen Z ages, institutions will adapt, workplaces are shifting, marriage norms are evolving, urban planning is responding to longer rental cycles, culture changes when enough people choose differently, and that shift is already happening. Delayed adulthood is not a failure to launch. It is a response to economic realities, cultural shifts, and deeper self-exploration. Gen Z is not rejecting responsibility.